Hi guys, what's up? What's up guys, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, I am going to show you my updated base routine. This is a routine which I actually started doing from last month, so this is not really a new year, new base routine kind of a video. I actually did show this base routine in one of the tutorials which I did last month, but a lot of people did not watch that tutorial. But it's okay. I thought I'll make a comprehensive video where I'll show you each and every step properly. As always, the links of all the products will be mentioned in the description box below, so please check it out. You'll find all the shade names and the names of all the products there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, without further ado, why did I just do that? Now, without further ado, let's begin. We'll start off with the application of the primer. So on days my skin is feeling extra dry, I use two primers, one a hydrating primer and another one a pore filling primer. A lot of hydrating primers do not fill up the pores, you know, they don't give that really smooth effect to the base. So for that, of course, there's one option that you can use two primers, and another one which I actually prefer is using a really good moisturizer or a facial oil to hydrate your skin half an hour in advance. I give that much of time for my skincare to, you know, seep into my skin. The facial oil I applied was from Minimalist. It was their rosehip facial oil, and right now my skin is nicely hydrated. So I really don't need to apply a different primer for hydration. So I'll straight start with a pore filling primer. I am going to use Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. If you want to check out drugstore pore filling primers, then you can check Colorbar Perfect Match Primer, I think it's called. Yeah, it's a white tube, Colorbar Perfect Match Primer. That is a really good pore filling primer. Or you can also use Lakme Blur Perfect Primer. Now let's blend this out. Done. So this primer actually fills out the pores really well, guys. Okay, it gives like a super smooth base for your foundation. You can see how my forehead is looking mattified and smooth, and even this area for that matter. I've got the zit here, but that's okay. It is a good primer, guys. The other ones that I recommended are also pretty good. Step number 2. Concealer. I get a lot of these questions where people ask me, why are you applying the concealer before the foundation? Aren't you supposed to apply the concealer after applying your foundation? I'll tell you why I do it. If I apply the foundation before the concealer, then the concealer goes on top of the foundation, which is like an added layer of product on my skin. And especially when it comes to the area under my eye, I prefer to keep the layers as minimum as possible to avoid creasing. I have tried applying the foundation and then the concealer, and that causes a lot of creasing, guys. That's why for me, concealer always comes before the foundation. For concealer today, I am going to use K Beauty Concealer in the shade 130p Medium. There's a new launch, but I have been testing it out for some time now, and it's a pretty good concealer. Now let's conceal the hell out of all the darker areas. Actually, not really. Apply a thin layer, you can always build it up later. These are all the areas where I like to apply my concealer. I also put it on the areas where I've got a little bit of pigmentation going on, or you know, I have a zit here, so I applied a dot of concealer on the zit. Now I'm going to blend this out with a concealer brush. You can use a sponge, that's also okay, but a concealer brush gives more coverage. Take your time while doing this, guys. It is very important that you take your time and blend the concealer properly. And done. This concealer is actually pretty good, guys. This is not sponsored at all, but this is a good concealer. Next, let's apply the foundation. I'm using Colorbar Weightless Liquid Foundation. What shade is this? This is FC 4.1. I'm going to use a sponge to apply the foundation. This is a MORPHE sponge. I'm going to link that as well below. Alright, now let's do this. We are done with the application of the foundation. Now comes the thing which I do differently. I now use a blush before setting my base, and I mainly use tints and liquid blushes. There are not too many options of liquid blushes available in India. In fact, I have just one, which is from Flower Beauty, and another one which is from Rare Beauty, not available here again. But tints work really well for this particular technique, guys. And the result of applying your blush and then setting your base is pretty flawless. Now, I know a big question in everyone's mind would be, what if I don't have a liquid blush? Do I need to buy a liquid blush, or do I need to buy a tint? You don't need to do all of that. If you have a powder blush, you can do the same technique with the powder blush as well. However, I'm going to warn you that using a powder blush for this technique can be quite tricky, and it needs a bit of practice. Otherwise, it'll get all patchy. I'm going to show you one side with the powder blush and one side with a tint. For powder blush, I'm using my favorite Colorbar Sweet Scarlet powder blush, and for tint, I'm using Face Shop Waterfit tint in the shade, what shade is this? Rose Pink. I'm starting off with the trickier one, which is the powder blush. Taking a bit of blush, you have to tap the excess off and then apply like a very light layer of blush on the apples of your cheek. This is a really pigmented blush, so you have to be careful. You should blend this out with your brush as much as possible. Don't stress out, just, keep rubbing your brush on your cheek. Although it looks funny, but still. The trick is to take the tiniest amount of blush, tapping off the excess and then applying it, and then of course blending it out as much as you can. Next, I'm going to take the tint for this side. This you have to blend out quickly. I like to do this with my fingers. Okay, I'm going to take a little more because it is not showing up much. Whenever you're using a liquid blush or a tint, always tap it to blend it. Do not drag it, otherwise your foundation is going to move. Maybe I'll use one more dot of blush. This side is tint, this side is the powder blush. I know this side is looking more pigmented than this side, but that's because the products are different, the texture is different. Tints do blend differently than powder blushes. Now let's set this up. I'm going to use e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder. This is one of my favorite setting powders for a dewy look. I'm taking a bit of powder on a puff. This is a puff from Beauty Blender, and I will start applying the powder all over my face. The base is set, and can you see how neat the blush looks? It looks like it has blended into the skin so smoothly. Trust me when I say this, you have to try this technique out. I'm pretty sure a lot of you must have already tried this out, but if you haven't, try it out because it makes the blush look so good. The tint is definitely lighter than the powder blush, but you can build it up as per your own liking. Now comes the contouring, and I'm going to use K Beauty Contour and Highlight Palette. This is the palette. It has a bronzer, it has a contouring product, and of course a highlight shade. But I feel this highlight shade is a bit darker for my skin tone, so I don't use this much. I'll start off with the contouring shade, which is cool toned, and apply it on my jawline first. I'll tell you something very honestly, I do not use contouring products for like regular everyday kind of a makeup. Like if I'm going to a mall or if I'm going for a casual day out, I don't use any contouring product. According to me, contouring products only make sense when you are being photographed a lot. Your face looks snatched in pictures and all. Otherwise, you can seriously just skip it. After contouring this area, I'm applying very little contouring product on top of my jaw right over here. Now please don't go overboard with this. We'll actually blend it out with powder as well later because you definitely don't want harsh lines. I notice in a lot of weddings and parties, some people, when I see their profiles, they have this very harsh line over here and it doesn't look good. Next, I am going to apply the contouring product on my cheekbone, just a hollow of my cheekbone, not like my entire cheekbone. And a little bit on the corners of my forehead. So if you have like a small forehead, then skip this completely. Next, I'm again going to take the powder and I will blend this area out a little. Now you see there's no harsh line over here once you blend it out with the powder. Next comes bronzing. This is something which is fairly new to me because I used to never use a bronzer as a bronzer on my skin. I've used bronzers to contour, lightly contour my face, but not for what they are supposed to do. So this is an addition which I've made to my routine using a bronzer. I'm going to take a little bit of this bronzer, tap off the excess, and apply it just about here. This is mainly the area which I cover with the bronzer. Just the top of your cheekbone and the side of your forehead is good enough. Bronzers do give a very Kim Kardashian kind of a sun-kissed look, and I've said this before in a tutorial which not a lot of people watched. And with that final step, the base is done, guys. This is all that I do. Let me show you a closer look. I just want to tell you that because I broke down each and every step, it may have sounded like a daunting task, but it is not. Doing this base is super easy. It takes me max 15 minutes to do this, but I took my time to explain it to you. That's why it sounded like it's a lot, but it is not. Now I'm going to go off camera and finish some of my makeup and then come back to show you like a full and final finish. I'm not doing any heavy eye makeup or anything, just very simple basic makeup. I'll quickly do it off camera and then come back. And I'm back. The makeup is almost complete. I'm going to highlight the high points of my face with you. I, ended up highlighting my nose and then I remembered, oh god, no. I need to do the highlighting bit with you guys. The reason why I'm doing this with you is because it does make a tiny bit of difference to your base. I'm using e.l.f. highlighter in the shade 24K Gold. I am going to start applying it right about here. It's a beautiful highlighter, by the way. I'm done applying the highlighter. This side is the tint side and this side is the powder side. Last but not the least, setting spray. Now this step is super duper important, not just to make your makeup long lasting, but also to melt all the powdery products on your skin. Your face does look more natural and not cakey or anything, and your makeup of course lasts for a longer time too. I'm using NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray today. I'm going to wait for this to dry up and then we'll finish this video. And that's it, guys. This is the final look. And that's it, guys. This is my final look. And that's it. This is the final result, guys. I really hope that this video was helpful to you in some way and you enjoyed watching it. Lastly, please check out our brand. We do have a brand, guys. It's called House of Sharma, and we've got a range of really good quality stuff. I'm going to leave certain links in the pinned comment of the comment section below. Please do check it out. It would mean a lot. And if you do like something, then consider buying it. That's it from me for today. I'm going to see you in the next one. Take care of yourself and stay safe, guys. Bye-bye.